a lot of wins. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed half and half with returners and new players. Different years for those new players. It's a great mix. Everyone's kind of molded in together, and it's nice to get a whole fall working everybody in all different positions and everything. But we have great veteran leaders. They've really helped those young ones come along and really show them what CMU softball's about.
Ashley, a tremendous kind of breakout season last year for you individually, and the season as a whole goes well, but kind of ends on a sour note. How much have you and the other leaders kind of taken from that and kind of bounce back, even though it's several months later?
Yeah, the season doesn't really matter how well you do if you lose those last games. So kind of just recognizing that and recognizing what it takes to get us past those end of the season games. I think this year we have probably a little more edge and a lot of understanding what it takes to make it past regionals and do that sort of thing.
Brandi, you and Ashley, a couple fifth-year seniors, getting that opportunity to play a fifth year. What does that mean to you? And then kind of follow up with that, what kind of expertise or experience can you share with all the new players on the team?
So fifth year, or grandma year. So just like we're really fortunate to get that year since our sophomore year didn't happen. So as a fifth year senior, you kind of just know the expectations as you go in, and everybody just kind of follows you in a way. I've noticed some of the younger girls just kind of piggyback and just kind of see how we run things and stuff like that. But yeah, mainly it's just another year of being a senior, being that older leader that has all those years under your belt. You can have a couple more years to learn and fail, so the fifth year is going to be a good one.
Coach, last year a little bit of a change to the schedule going to California, or kind of your stomping grounds, like doing that again this year to begin the season. What did you kind of learn from that season opening tournament last year that you can take specifically into this year and the opening weekend?
Well, it was nice to go somewhere different for a tournament. It was really good competition, very close games, all of them. Now I think we can prepare for that a little bit better. Those California teams did have a little bit stronger pitching than what our conference does. I don't know if we're necessarily expecting that, but we know that now. And we're going to be a little bit more strategic with our offense and our base running to be able to push, one or two more runs across. And the ball also doesn't fly quite as far there. So we had a lot that were about 5 feet short. So I think that's, more situational hitting to prepare for some of those scenarios when the ball isn't flying as much. And yeah, it's going to help us win. And the weather was great. So we're looking forward to, 60 degrees, sunny California weather as we have some chilly days out here.
So, obviously, like you said, kind of mix of returners and very new pitching staff and all. How are you kind of working those kids into it, and kind of what are you seeing from this team is going to be a strength? You can't hit 100 home runs every season.
Hitting 100 home runs every season would be awesome.
It would be good, huh? Yeah. But you can't rely on that, so obviously you want a multifaceted approach.
New pitching staff, 2 freshmen and a junior in there. They're all a little unique, and I think that's what our previous staff has kind of instilled in this culture here of everyone's a little different, and they complement each other, and it's team effort. We've really emphasized that. It's great to have an awesome defense behind you and a great offense to help with that run support, so it's not all on their shoulders. We don't need to have a team ERA of 2 this year. We know it's going to be a little bit higher, and that's fine. We're asking, keep the ball in the park, and we'll make some of those really good defensive plays. We'll make all the basic plays. That's fine. It's we need to obviously outscore them. I'm confident in what we have, and they're going to get a lot of experience and really grow throughout the season so that we make, a whole bunch of wins and really go on a roll when playoffs come along.
So, girls, kind of what are you seeing, as the veterans and from the younger players, and what you've taken from last year into, okay, the next step? What does the next step need to be, or what do you need to add to this program to take it to that next level?
I think with a lot of new girls that have come in, they've done a very good job of molding into what has been expected and adjusting to the college atmosphere. Coach Lovato does a great job with the pitchers. I'm not too involved in that, so I trust her. But when it comes to like the younger infielders, they're definitely coachable, and it just takes us telling them what to expect and what to understand, and they take what we hear and work with that.
And something this year that we didn't have last year was a little more crafty. We have a couple little slappers on our team that I think can, the ball doesn't fly as far in California, so they can have those little speedsters around, kind of mix it up this year. That's a good asset that the coaches brought in for us, different from last year.
And then just hit 100 home runs.
Right, yeah, we can do that, and then they can bunt and run, so that'll be good, yeah.
I hear you're not going to bunt this year.
No. Yeah, I did practice it over break, and it
It
hit me, yeah. That's what I get for practicing bunting, I guess. But
that's why you hit home runs.
Right.
It's much more fun. You just trot around the bases.
Yeah.
But it, and the way that the RMAC is, shaping up. I know you were picked number 2, which is, not where you want to be, obviously. But that teams at the top half are getting much better, and it's a lot more competitive, the top half of this conference, than it was even a couple of years ago. So makes that preseason even more important to get ready for conference?
Yeah, CCU picked first. Who cares? Pick second, that's fine. Those preseason polls don't really matter. Obviously, we should be near the top, which makes sense. Hey, if people want to take us a little bit lightly, that's fine. We'll take it. We'll jump on teams and beat them and score a whole bunch of runs, and we're definitely motivated to beat CCU too. Those first couple tournaments, we've expressed the importance of those, but don't also freak out, if things don't quite go our way, because it is a long season. Biggest thing I think we learned from last year is, early May, RMAC tournament, that's when everything really matters. Different things preseason set you up for regional rankings. That stuff's really helpful, but it's a really long conference, and we added a whole week this year conference, so it's 11 weeks of games. It's a long grind of a season. It really comes down to that weekend of RMAC. Hopefully we set ourselves up well seeding-wise for that, so it's an easier, trip through that RMAC tournament, but that's where we need to win, and that's where we need to be peaking.
Coach, going into this season, what would you say are your team's strengths, and what would you say is something you would like to see this team work on to get better from last year?
I think we have great leadership on our team. We have kind of our outfield leader and our infield leader here. They've done a great job with these younger players, and those younger players really look up to them because they've been really successful, and you really see it on the field, the maturity on the field. Really good focus at practice. They're working hard. They're listening. They really coachable group. I think that's going to help. We got the power. We got the speed. We added a few speedy freshmen, which is great to have in our arsenal. Pitching is going to be, that's the whole new thing. But I've worked with pitchers here long enough, and we get creative. And I think we're really just going to get a little more strategic coaching-wise, offensively and defensively to help everybody out and bring it all together.
Coach, we talked earlier, a lot of new faces just with the time you had in the fall and the last few days here. Who are maybe some players to watch kind of from the newcomer group that may have surprised even you and Willie?
Out of the newcomers, again, we got a lot in there. One of our pitchers, Hannah Sattler, she's got some funky stuff. She throws at multiple speeds, not just full speed and a changeup. There's a couple different off-speed options in there, spins it a whole lot. Not that intimidating, but it actually works really well with the other pitchers on our staff. She's really going to throw people off. One of our freshman outfielders, Slapper, Dakota, she's super speedy. She works out with Brandi in the outfield, has really kind of clung to her, and they come out early most days and hit off the tee, and both practicing out in left field, and I think Dakota's going to be someone that will be a real threat on the base path.
Double question of the week. Yeah, I know. First one, favorite road trip location or just overall trip that you've been on? We'll do that one first.
So my favorite has always been the Tucson tournament. I'm from Tucson, so it's nice that my family was able to come and, be there to watch me. Unfortunately, we won't be going there, but it's okay. I'm glad that we got those couple years that I was able to do that. So,
I always liked going to St. George when Dixie was in there because it was the shortest trip, and the weather was usually pretty good. But yeah, they're D1 now, so that's not happening. So now I think the California one, that was really easy travel last year. It was a good trip for us. So.
The California trip is the best. Long one, but I do like the Denver ones because it's just like over the mountain, and the shortest ones. Those are always my favorite because they're easier.
All right, and second question, favorite type of sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
I like turkey. I'm not picky with the cheese.
Yeah, say good turkey sandwich, but like toasted bread, all the vegetables, honey mustard. Better.